Hey guys, how we doing? Just some Inner Circle Monday content again, and we're back with Gav from FMS, but we've got a little bit of an update of where FMS are at. So first of all, welcome, Gav.
Yeah, Jizzy, thanks for having me, mate.
No worries. So we've been talking for a long time, and we've been working together for about 3 years and looking at different things. So just tell us the new developments in how FMS UK has actually now been formed in how it's come about over the last 3 years.
Yeah, sure. I'll try and put a timer on this and give you the short version of it. You've been kind enough to let us come into Worcester for the last 3 years gathering data, but at the same time, we've been running a number of pilots and gathering data in schools and different populations all around the country. Um, to be honest with you, we started that 3 years ago without even the view back then of forming FMS UK. I was sending the data back to the team in America, working through with them. My mentor, a chap called John Tureen, very kindly took me under his wing. John was the lead strength and conditioning coach at the Indianapolis Colts. Great guy, sat on the Olympic committee. He's kind of written programs for Exos for years, and he's just a fantastic guy that gave me so much time to really support me through this. John also at the time was heading up the PE department within functional movement systems in the US. So it's been a collaboration really of firstly getting we've always said the same is that we don't make decisions without following the data first. So we got thousands and thousands of pieces of information. We've been movement screening children all around the world. Um, we've had some great data on kids in Rwanda, New Zealand, Australia, South America. There are a number of people that have realised that kids today are in a bad place compared to where they were 20 years ago. So we put all this data together, and it enabled us to start to get an idea of a program that would be suitable for their elementary school and high school and our sort of prep school through to 18 years of age. When I say prep school, we've tried and tested this down into key stage 2, which is sort of the 8-year-olds, and we're currently developing a program for pre-prep through to the age of 8. So we found that the screen, the information, the exercises, the correctives, the program, it was fine for that key stage 2 age group all the way through to 18. And yeah, we just really kind of rolled our sleeves up for a few years, did a lot of stuff, spoke to a lot of industry leaders here in the here in the UK and in the US, and at the beginning of last year, it was agreed through FMS US that we would form the UK version, and our team was then born and put together. So for the last 12 months, we've been developing and taking an idea, which we know that the screen and the assessment is a great tool. We know that the corrective exercise selection based on the algorithm works in changing and improving movement quality. But like all good ideas, we had to sit down and think, how can we even begin to deliver this into a large school population of upwards of 400 pupils? Now, that was fortunately where the team that we have here in the UK really came into their own because fortunately the FMS UK are actually partly owned by a software company, and we've been trying to and have successfully working alongside our software guys for over 12 months to produce the platform that we've now only literally 3 months ago started to roll out. So currently we are in a number of private and independent schools, um, and we're also in minor counties and first class counties as a tool to the pathways. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at the moment. Really exciting times, mate.
So basically, I mean, the way I see this headed is not in pro sport, but in, like we said, the academy pathways in the schools, in clubs, because obviously there's some very sort of big clubs with second, third teams, age group teams, and everything like that. And there is a massive need, as we've seen so much, for these kids to have access to this. And tell us how simple it is to use.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, the actual screening process itself, we test 7 movements. It takes 10 minutes to run the screen. So we've we have an education model. It's a 90-minute online course, and actually we're streamlining that down to about 45 minutes. So in reality, you don't have to have a qualification or a certification in strength and conditioning or physiotherapy or any kind of medical background at all. So it's a very, very straightforward method to run, very simple for an organization. So our organizations, our minor counties, what they do is they'll nominate 4 or 5 of their coaches that will do the online education, and then we assist them in running screening days. So for example, we'll have an age group team will come in on a Saturday for a 2.5 hour session, and 2 coaches in an hour will screen that entire team. That data is then put into the system, and the system does everything else. So what we wanted to do was to create a very, very straightforward software platform that not only enabled us to collect and collate the data, but then we have reports that are in very simple layman's terms that go out to mum and dad with their exercises on there. Their exercise programs are 10 to 12 minutes, 3-4 times a week. That's what we're looking to do. But those 3 to 4 exercises are relevant to a level of limitation or dysfunction in the person that the screen has already picked up. So, the simple terms, it's not taking a group warm up, which would be like taking a machine gun out and trying to hopefully hit something. It's actually taking that sniper rifle out and working out that child who's 12 has already developed a left-right asymmetry that's causing him or her to have core stability issues, and therefore will undo it with remediation work. So it sort of comes into its own in that scenario with the least amount of time to get the biggest bang for your buck, really.
So where the beauty of this I see it in, it's not uh, the taking of the tests, because pretty much like you said, in 90 minutes you can get up to speed, know what you're looking for. It's when you put the information into the test, what the software does then, spit out the program for the kid to follow, and the parents got access to, and the coach has got access. They can make notes on it, and for every exercise, it links them straight to a video. So everything is there for them. So you could literally do 20 kids, get them screened in a couple hours, and then the next day they'll have access to their program with everything they need in it.
Yeah, basically. The best way I always surmise this is it's like reading an eye chart, imagining that you're going in, the kids are going through, they're reading the eye chart, and they come out the end with the right prescription glasses. Off they go, they can see, they can move. And that's exactly how it works with this. They just get the right prescription for them based on that early entry screen. We're again, some of the minor counties that we're working with are very, very keen. So, for example, because we're communicating with parents off the software system, we're able to have sort of like a cricket passport for the people or for the children that come into the pathways. So if you can imagine that, little Tommy will have his own account up and running with his screen details in there, but there'll also be a notes section in there that coaches can go in and actually put details on that particular player. We also have the capacity to upload video in that. So if you want to, instead of just storing all of these random pieces of information everywhere, in that cricketer's account, we've got video, we've got notes sections, but we've also, as we've spoken to you guys about it, we wanted to find out what level capacity tests the counties are taking. So yo-yo, broad jump, CMJ, whatever it might well be, we've put that within that player profile. So when somebody comes into a pathway, we've got a trackable audit of everything that's been done with that cricketer from start to finish. And also the beauty is you can engage mum and dad because the system will communicate with them. So, we're very keen to talk to minor counties and the pathways out there, because in reality, what we're developing is something unique to the county that grows with the county. It's not, we don't have an off-the-shelf product, if you like. Many of our partners that we sit down with, and especially in the independent schools, are devising our system to help work with their working schedules. So, for example, even sending out reports and further attachments. So it really is the FMS is at the heart of it, but it really is kind of so much more than that within our offering.
Right. It sounds brilliant. I've seen some of the software, and we're putting it into play with our pathways because it's something that's just needed. I know we've got Joe from Derby who's been working with Derby age groups, and they got sent out a form of one PDF saying this is the S&C you do with your guys. It's got 6 basic movements, but 3 of them are 3 that we've seen that kids struggle with: in hip hinge, basic squat, and lunge. The 3 of the common ones that there's issues with. So just to tell a kid to do them is going to lead to frustrations all around when they can't do it. So for me, this is ideally sat in pretty much from 16 down to 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, to get in, get it done, and then we can move forward. We've seen, I know it's only winter training, but at the moment, the boys are absolutely flying with winter training because we've taken the time to go through this process. And it's taken, Jesus Christ, nearly 2, 3 years to get to the point where I can hand on heart say I'm happy with most of these lads to start lifting well now. So it's a process, but if you start at 8, 9, 10, before you've lost all these basic motor patterns, it's gold dust. And for coaches, not even talking about S&Cs, for coaches, they should be ripping their arms off to get to this because it makes their life so much easier.
Yeah, well, we've started to realise, talking to your coaching team, that some of the bowlers that we've been working with, actually it was more a physical limitation than actually skill acquisition was the reason why they couldn't get into some of those positions. Now, how many kids have we got out there where coaches are verbally talking to them using words and basically trying to get them to get into positions that these kids simply can't get into? I think a lot of us, when we see these kids going through these growth spurts, they're doing really well to even hit to off stump when they run into bowl because of the physical challenges. And you're right that hip hinging, squatting, these are the fundamental movements that underpin all of the training activities. But my question is always when I talk to people is, where do you go when someone can't do what you're asking them? And the answer isn't more hip hinging, more squatting. You can have a mobility, a stability, or a motor control issue.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what we see is if someone can't squat, they put the fucker in a heel lift. Like, Jesus Christ! So we're just going to miss the problem and try and get around it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, sweet. So this sounds. I know that I've got so much faith in all this stuff, and we're doing it. I put my reputation on it. So just tell our inner circle guys how they can get hold of you if they want to get their club involved, themselves involved, or anything. Because you're also looking for people, I think, around the country who can take the testing and actually almost go to different satellite centres.
Yeah, sure. No, there's 3 sort of things we're looking at the moment. We're looking at club setups. Obviously, setting up the software. There are minimal amounts. We won't be able to set software accounts up when we've only got a team of 10 or 11 cricketers playing there. But we're looking at big club setups with big junior sections or into first team clubs. Our schools market, without a doubt, we're looking at the independent market, minor counties. Again, pro sports isn't really, our system at the moment is used at Liverpool and Tottenham and a number of other Premiership clubs. But for us, we're looking at more those early stages. You can find us all on social media. Website is functionalmovement.uk.com. Just look us up. Everything is on that website and through social media. We're really keen as well to find people around the country that want to work with us with regard to delivery. We're happy to educate people and talk to them because our need at the moment, our geography is all around the country. So yeah, we're looking to talk to any like-minded people, really.
Cool. And what's your email address, Gav? I'll let the lads have this.
Yeah, it's G Armstrong and then at functionalmovement.uk.com. So you can find me through there.
If you're interested in any of this, I'll put the email somewhere around here as well.
Yeah.
Get in contact with Gav. Say that you're from the inner circle and what sort of phase you're interested in. If you've got a big school or a big club, or if you want to get involved in doing the testing and being one of the actual testers. So let them know. This is such a big movement, and for kids, it's horrendous. For me, what the worst part of my job is when you see a kid who has to stop playing because their body's just wrecked and they're only sort of 15, 16 years old. And, if they get on top of this stuff early doors, before they even get near a sodding barbell or anything like that, they're going to have so much better chance to keep playing. And you know, one of our best mates had to stop playing when he was 21, and he was quick, and because his body just gave up. And it's a scandal that it's still happening when there is this knowledge out there. So get in contact with Gav, and let's get this moving forward. Shoot me any questions you need. Shoot Gav any questions you need. But let's not stop until we help these young cricketers and help yourselves moving forward. So Gav, thanks for joining us, and
Yeah,
we'll
thanks,
catch you.
Julie. Thanks.